Hello, welcome back to another edition of the first annual Bump Bailey Wax Pack Hero Tournament of Awesome. We are set for our fourth and final first round matchup, and we've got a good one today. We have got the Ballcaps and Pipes podcast taking on everybody's favorite internet diva, infield fly girl. Joining me today, as usual, is my co-host, Mark A. Johnston, who is not going to be able to make it on camera today, but he is here via other technology. Mark, hello, how you doing today?
I tell you what, I would claim it was a bad hair day, but as we know, every day is a bad hair day for me.
Well,
it's one of those.
Your little picture here that we put up is, you look like you're having a great hair day today. So,
well, I appreciate
congratulations. All right, so let's first welcome in our first team today. It is Bubba and John from the Ballcaps and Pipes podcast. Gentlemen, welcome from Scotland.
Thank you very much. It's good to be here.
Yeah, thanks for having us on. We're excited about this.
Great. I've put your icons in the wrong order here on our Chiron, and I apologize. We're going to have to fire our technician. But let's also welcome Infield Fly Girl. I am so excited to talk to you. I haven't talked to you before either, but I'm excited to have you here and to open some baseball cards with you.
I am so stoked to be here. Opening baseball cards is, pretty much the best thing going in this quarantine we've got.
And it's probably, just to be honest, it's probably what we'd all be doing today anyway, is opening baseball cards. So.
And social distancing.
Well, we are all doing some good social distancing right now. Nobody is anywhere near within 6 feet of each other. So congratulations to all of us.
All right. We're about 6,000 miles away from you guys.
Yeah, I feel pretty safe right now. All right, so first thing we're going to do here before we get to our wheel to spin this is I want to talk to you guys and just kind of get a sense of your baseball history, or your, more than that, even your baseball card collecting history. So, Infield Fly Girl, can you tell us a little bit about your love for baseball cards?
Absolutely. My first favorite baseball player was my dad. He played shortstop for the Union team. And we would go to the corner store and just buy little wax packs of baseball cards. I collected baseball cards probably before I ever watched a game on television. And so I had this little collection of cards of players that I've probably never seen play, but I liked the gum. And later on throughout my life, I just sort of allowed baseball to fall by the wayside. But I fell in love with Sammy Sosa in 1998, because who didn't? And got back into it. And mostly my love for collecting is based mostly in cards that I find interesting or funny. I like the funny cards.
And what is your prize card?
My prize card. Goodness gracious me. Let's see. Mr. IFG would say the autographed Andre Dawson. I would probably say the really funny looking Chris Bryant card.
I saw Andre Dawson. Unfortunately, his business is booming right now. Since retirement, he's running a funeral home down in Florida.
He sure is.
That's a unique profession for a retired baseball player of his stature. But he appears to be enjoying. Well, I don't want to say enjoying it like something macabre, but
he's good at it. Yeah,
respectfully. And
yeah. So let's now, Bubba and John. Same question. How did you get into collecting baseball cards, and what is your prized card?
John, I'll let you go first, because I know your collection's quite small, and I think I should apply to the card.
I don't really collect baseball cards. I think with me being obviously Scottish and growing up here.
Wait, you're Scottish?
I am indeed, yes.
Let me
give you that impression.
I am. Well, okay. Sorry. No, go ahead, please. I'm just being. Will you say though? Just humor me one time and just say if it's not Scottish, it's crap.
Okay. If it's not Scottish, it's crap.
There you go.
There you
All
go.
right. That was
All
that.
right.
You literally just made my day. So thank you
Or
very much.
Or to use a Glaswegian colloquialism, it's if it's no Scottish, it's shite.
Shite. Yeah, there you go. And Bubba, how about you?
So I got into baseball. It would have been the 1981 Little League World Series because they were from Kirkland, Washington, which is just a few miles down from my hometown. So I was into ball then. Kind of picked up cards at 7-Elevens and everything there. And then when you hit that baseball card boom in the mid to late 80s, whatever Costco had, I usually got a box to kind of keep me happy. And so I started collecting that way and kind of had that, the years of about like 86 to about 91 where it was a big baseball card collector. My buddy up here started a card shop up in Scotland. Wanted some help because he didn't know anything about any of the older cards. And that's when he helped and kind of just sucked me into it.
And first of all, I sure wish Costco still sold baseball cards. That would be spectacular. But what's your prized card?
So I just picked up a 1952 Bowman Ted Williams card.
Oh wow, that is very cool. Very cool.
Funny enough, it was from somebody out here. So I'm kind of waiting to get it graded to see what it's really worth. But so pretty excited about that. And got a couple rookie cards of like Boggs and Gwynn and Coach the Billy Ripping card. I had to have that one.
Well, maybe we'll add to that collection here today.
Awesome.
Let's. So what we're going to do now is we're going to spin our big wheel and just see what exactly we're going to be working with today. Listed here are all the cards, years, and brands that we're going to possibly pick from. You're each going to get one pack, from the same year and same brand, just to keep it level. If you've joined us for our previous episode, you'll notice that the 1988 Topps is off the board. We had that land a couple of times, and so we're out of those. So let's go ahead and give this a spin and see what we're going to be working with today. The lovely 1987 Donruss.
Interesting.
Now, is there excitement for the 1987 Donruss?
Well, I was born in 1987.
So John might not be as familiar with all of the players, but
I was born in 1987, so.
All right. Bonds and Larkin, Greg Maddux, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Maddux and Bo Jackson.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. 87 Donruss. Let me pull these out. Well, the great thing about 87 Donruss is the incredible packaging with these nice brown wrappers. And look at our Chiron guy is, again, not cleared out the scores from yesterday. So let's get that taken care of. And
I'm liking this, though.
We're gonna have to.
Haven't even started. This is definitely my day.
We're definitely gonna have to fire them immediately.
Meetings will continue until morale improves.
Does anybody have scoreboard experience by chance?
I know one person that does on this call. So let's take a look. We are, first of all, to score these, we are using a May 1992 Beckett baseball card monthly with Mr. Steve Avery on the cover here. So these cards will have some value as opposed to if we look them up today. Just quickly perusing over there are some big cards in this set, especially from 1992. There's the Bo Jackson rookie card, which is $5.50 right off the bat. There's a Palmeiro, a McGuire card, a Will Clark rookie card.
Hold on, did you just say 92?
I might have. I meant 87.
Okay,
definitely 87. I'm dyslexic with numbers and letters. But there are a couple of cards here. There's a Ruben Sierra rookie card worth $6. I mean, there are some actual cards here that are worth, over $1, which is rare for us. But what that also does is it keeps everybody in the game until the last card, because if you pull a $6 card on your last card, you're definitely gonna have a chance to win. So the way we do this, there is no skill to this game, which makes it perfect for me at least. The The only way you have any control over this game is to pick which of these packs you want to open. And to do that, I'm going to ask you a trivia question. And whoever answers that trivia question closest to the correct answer will get to choose which pack. So since there's two of you for the Caps and Pipes podcast, I'm going to ask that you two just come up with a consensus. It's been a point of contention earlier in the round. So I'm going to ask that you two come up with a consensus answer. I'm going to ask for your answer first, and then I will let Infield Fly Girl give us her answer, and whoever is closest will get to pick their pack. So here is my question. What is the fewest number of pitches that has ever been thrown in a complete game by one team? So, Bubba and John, what do you think?
Around 67, I believe.
67? All right. Is Bubba, are you good with that?
All right, I'll go with it. I'll let John lead the way in this one.
All right. IFG, what do you think?
62.
62. All right. Wow. Everybody else in our other first round matchups have been pretty close to 100 or more off of everything. You two are very close. The actual answer is 58.
Oh man, I was gonna say 57.
Well, you still got it. IFG gets to pick now. Just a little history on that. It was August 10th, 1944. Boston Braves versus the Cincinnati Reds. And why do I apparently forgot to type this gentleman's first name. His last name is Barrett, and that's embarrassing. Won a 2-0 shutout. He didn't walk anybody, didn't strike out anybody. It was a 2-hitter, and there were no errors. It was a 9-inning complete game, 58 pitches, and it took an hour and 45 minutes to complete. Or not, I'm sorry, an hour and 15 minutes to complete. It's like Rob Manfred's wet dream.
So does that make it the shortest complete game in history as well?
It did not say. Well, let's see. It's the shortest night game in history, the shortest road team win in history. But it does not say. Well, actually, you know what? Mark and I covered the shortest game in Major League history many moons ago, and it was like 36 minutes because the team had to catch a train, the last train of the day. And so they went up there and they were just swinging at everything. Oftentimes they would throw the first pitch of the next half inning before the entire defensive team had gotten off the field. Like they were, the umpire actually showed up late. They started the game early. The umpire showed up late. And it was just, it was a madhouse.
It is such a great story. I love it.
All right, so IFG, you are in complete control here.
Exactly how I like it.
You get to choose whether you want the left or the right pack.
I'm going left.
Left. All right. So this is your
always
pack.
A good choice.
So I'm gonna give John and Bubba. You have the choice of whether you want to open your pack first or last.
Jason,
I think we should let ladies go first.
Ladies first, indeed.
All right. So IFG. All right. So IFG, you're going to get to go first here, and let me make sure we get our stuff ready here. All right. I'm going to open this on camera just again so that everybody knows we're on the up and up here.
Come on.
No gum. We do have a Roberto Clemente card piece.
Oh, nice.
And I'm not sure. This might be the piece that Mark from the BBBA podcast, the last piece that he was looking for when he opened that box.
Oh, wow.
A little while ago. But all right, so here we go. You are going to start off with a rated rookie. Always a good start.
Oh, yes.
From the California Angels, he was rated as a rookie, but not much after that. Will Frazier.
Nice mustache. That's got to add on at least like 10 cents.
Oh, we've only done this like 8,000 times, and I forgot to go over the rules.
Who the fuck
So
is
there
that guy?
there are a couple of rules besides just looking at the price. Mustaches. You get an extra cent straight off the bat for these sweet lip brooms right there. If you can see their stirrups and they are wearing them, you get an extra cent there.
Brilliant.
If they are wearing those disgusting 2-in-1 stirrups, which probably won't be a concern in 1987, you get a -1 cent.
Oh,
And if you're a Hall of Famer, you get an extra 5 cents.
nice.
No, I'm looking at rated rookie Greg Maddox from 1987.
Now he's got a porn stash in that, doesn't he?
Looking like the bass player from a college rock band or something, man. What kind of score does he get?
Well, what card number is it?
I think there needs to be a new version of the Maddox just created for this. He looks incredible. Number 36.
36. So that card would be worth 90 cents. Plus he's got the stash and the real stirrups. And he's a Hall of Famer, so that would be a 97-cent card if you pulled that.
He's still my heart.
I'm absolutely mesmerized by this card.
So this is like an 80s like drives a van mustache, but Greg's is like a full-on porn stash. It was not a good look. But let's see.
He's got the chin.
Is Will Frazier
fluff as well?
Is Will Frazier is he sporting a mullet? Because there should be points for mullets.
It's pretty close. Yeah, he's got a mullet. At least he didn't get his hair cut recently in the back there. But unfortunately, that card in Beckett is not worth anything. But you do get the 1 cent for that sweet,
Beautiful mustache.
teen
All
mustache.
God's mustaches are beautiful.
Well, I don't know. Let's wait till you see. Wait till you see right here in Mr. Craig Def Lefferts. Is that a good mustache right there?
Glorious. That is a 1 penny mustache if I have ever seen it.
Well, no, that one's bordering on a 2-center. That's like a Ned Flanders mustache right there. But no, just 1 cent. Was Craig Def Lefferts worth anything? He is not. So that is just another 1 center there. You're chipping away.
He's trying to be Tom Selleck in that, I think.
We're just starting with small ball. It's fine. We'll hit a dinger in a minute.
All right. Next. Oh boy, this is one of my guys from the 80s. This guy was nails with men on base, especially bases loaded for the Cleveland Indians, Mr. Pat Tabler.
Nice.
Now, I can't tell. Is that a faint blonde mustache?
That does look like it. Oh, yeah. He's trying so hard. That's him.
It's either that or he's just really dirty, but we'll give you a mustache on that one.
He had pine tar in his hands and wiped his nose or something like
that. Boy, again, the card is not worth anything other than the mustache, but this is why we give points for mustaches, because everybody had them. Oh, this is a good card. I'm not sure. I'm interested to see what it's worth, but it's a good name. We got Mr. Gary Gaetti.
Gary Gaetti?
I get him and Greg Gagne, Gagne, mixed up because they're interchangeable to me.
I get him and not Gary Gaetti mixed up.
Oh, another good Twitter follow. Let's see if Gary Joseph Gaetti is worth anything at this point. Unfortunately, he is not, and there's no mustache to speak of. And
How dare!
I guarantee you he's wearing stirrups, but you can't see them. He is wearing
Jason.
Is that a mesh hat? This must be spring training.
Gotta be spring training.
Yeah, they used to wear mesh hats in spring training. All right, next we go with a Red Sox. Well, here's your first 2-center at least, because he's got stirrups along with that mustache. Ed Romero.
Good boy, Eddie.
That's a good looking uniform right there. 606. I am afraid that is only a 2-center. But I know Potty Mouth would be very excited about pulling a Red Sox. Next, we've got, I remember this guy a lot from the Cleveland Indians as well, Mr. Mel Hall.
Oh, yeah.
That's at least a 2-center. He's got a mustache and stirrups. That looks like that is at Old Comiskey Park with the background there, the bars on the the boxes. And he's not wearing any batting gloves. That might be a future rule that you get points for that.
Nice. Lumberjack.
But, yep, just another 2-center. I'm waiting for the big card here.
Come on, the dinger.
This is not it, but it is Reggie Williams. Definitely got a mustache. I'm not familiar with Reggie, but he looks like he just got finished running sprints or something. He's very shiny. But look at that. It's at Dodger Stadium. There's the pavilion out there from the outfield.
Oh, wow.
Again, I'll mention it. It's my superpower to be able to tell where, what stadium these are taken with minimal backgrounds.
Amazing.
All right, so you get 8 cents. Oh, you have 8 cents. Next, we have got another pitcher that I'm afraid I don't know who it is. Greg Matthews.
Okay, let's see.
Wow.
He's got real stirrups on. No mustache. And I can guess where that value is heading.
Is Greg Matthews like Greg Maddox in like an unlicensed video game?
He is the
great value, Greg Maddox.
He's the Bobson Duggett. What was
Bobson Dugnut?
Dugnut, yes, he is the Bobson Dugnut of Greg Maddox's. So you do get 1 cent there, so you're up to 9 cents. Next, we've got the unsung hero of the Toronto Blue Jays outfield, along with George Bell and Jesse Barfield. It's Lloyd Mosby.
Nice.
So he's got a stash going there. I am afraid he's amongst a lot of valued players in Becketts, but he himself is unfortunately not valued at anything.
I have always been within the periphery of greatness.
All right, so next you have got, I remember this guy. Apparently there was a lot of guys getting their picture taken at Dodger Stadium for this Donruss set, and not a lot of full body shots. Mr. Danny Heep.
John, do you recognize any name yet?
A couple, kind of, but not really.
I got to tell you, these aren't a lot of great names to recognize, so don't feel bad. This one,
I recognized Mel Hall.
Well, I guarantee you will recognize this next one, and we will have plenty to talk about with this guy. This is a mustachioed Seinfeld starring Mr. Keith Hernandez.
Oh yeah,
beautiful.
So this one so far definitely your best card. I'm gonna guess. So Mr. Keith Hernandez, well, he was valued at 4 cents with a mustache, so that is 5 cents. But we've got plenty to talk about Keith Hernandez. Mark, this would be the best venue to tell your story if you wanted to tell it. We don't need to tell it because it is a little.
That one I've got.
Tell it.
Well, I've got that one wrapped up for a special episode of Two Strike Noise in the future.
But Two Strike Noise is safe for work. This is
no future like present.
That is not a non-safe for work story. You just have to use the right words.
Maybe we'll share it after with everybody
sure.
here.
All right.
But Keith Hernandez, a borderline Hall of Famer, definitely a great fielder. The consensus being that he is not going to make the Hall of Fame because he was caught up in the Pittsburgh drug trials, where a bunch of players were essentially buying drugs from the clubby in Cincinnati, and a lot of them got busted.
He was the mascot as well. He was the pirate bird, wasn't he?
Was he the mascot too? Maybe that's right. Yes. Yeah, that I don't know why I thought it was the clubby, but yeah, I think you're right. I think it was the mascot. But
as a theater kid, that makes perfect sense.
But I think he might be my favorite guest star on Seinfeld from the baseball world.
Definitely.
He was hilarious. He was at the whole second spitter thing with Roger McDowell. and then he dates Elaine, and then he asks Jerry to help him move.
And it's just going too far, too early in their relationship.
Yeah. Because Derek Jeter and Bernie Williams were on one. Danny Tartabull was in 2 separate Seinfeld episodes.
Yep.
And I think that there were some others, but that was Keith Hernandez always sticks out to me.
Could we take a wee moment, actually, while you're on the subject of Seinfeld, while I've got you guys here, could one of you possibly tell me what the big deal is with Seinfeld?
Well,
is it
I
like
can
an
tell you
American thing?
Well, yeah,
I've seen it. I've seen a few episodes, and I don't find it.
It's kind of a hit or miss. For me, I don't like sitcoms at all in general, but I love Seinfeld, so I don't know what to say.
No, I think it's like cilantro. Either you really like it or you really don't.
You just confused John. You call it coriander out here.
At one
IFG, do you
point somebody told me that there was a Superman reference in every episode of Seinfeld. So I had no interest in watching it, but I had to know where the Superman reference was. So
did you say Superman?
Superman
or okay. Oh yeah, Jerry's a huge. Yeah, he's a big Superman fan.
Yeah, so there is a reference, or sometimes it's like a magnet on the refrigerator, or like you'll see in the background there's like a little, like a poster or something. My favorite was in one episode, the only Superman reference was Jerry called Elaine Lois over the phone. So I would watch the episode until I saw the Superman, and then I'd turn it off.
It does make sense. It does make sense that America's most overrated comedian would have such an obsession with America's most overrated superhero.
Wow!
Perfect.
Hot takes. Hot takes.
Wow. I think we're taking a heel turn, John. We didn't talk about this before the show.
Well, there are 2 big episodes I remember with Superman. One where he races somebody from his junior high school, and he's trying to impress this girl he's dating who happens to be named Lois. And at one point he comes and has to change into his gym clothes in a phone booth and emerges as if Superman to... And then another one where there is a Bizarro world where Elaine makes friends with Bizarro, Jerry, Kramer, and George, where they're the exact opposite of George, Jerry, and Kramer. So yeah, a whole bunch of Superman references in Seinfeld for sure. And that kind of leads into this next card, because Ed Olwine of the Atlanta Braves looks like a Bizarro Dale Murphy here.
Looks like
he does look like Dale Murphy.
He does. It looks like this is a dime store Dale Murphy right there.
That is great value, Kyle MacLachlan.
That's a good call right there. That is if Kyle MacLachlan was a baseball player in the 80s. Not surprising to anybody here. That card is not worth anything. But it is. You do have a nice Wrigley Field shot in the background.
It is nice inspiration for David Lynch to try out a baseball movie.
There you go. Oh, and I volunteer. I would love to just be an extra.
Sold. Sign me up.
Done.
All right. So next, we've got Rick Manning, outfielder for the Milwaukee Brewers. Wearing a nice uniform there, but and with real stirrups, of course. But I can go ahead and predict what this card is probably going to be worth.
The penny for the stirrup.
Absolutely. Yep. I'm afraid you are not blowing it out of the park here yet.
Not quite, no.
You've got 2 cards left here, and both of them were big names in the 80s. I'm not sure how well they're going to score. Mm-hmm. But we'll start with, if you're a Kansas City Royals fan from the 80s, there are probably in the infield, there are 2 names that you probably are very familiar with. George Brett and this guy, Frank White. Longtime second baseman.
Look at that mustache.
That is a good-looking mustache. Let's see. Frank White should be worth a couple of cents, but I don't know at this point. He is unfortunately not. But you do get a penny there for the mustache. So
I've definitely heard of George Brett.
Well, George Brett would be worth quite a bit more in this, just from the Hall of Fame alone. But this, your last card here, I'm keeping my fingers crossed for you. This is a good player. He was on the A's in the 1989 World Series team. Likewise, it's funny because he was also involved in the Pittsburgh drug trials.
Oh, wow.
Because he was on the Pirates at that point. Do we have any guesses?
I got a few.
He is not a member of the Hall of Fame, but he is a member of the Negro League Museum Hall of Game.
Nice.
He is nicknamed the Cobra.
Oh, I got it now.
And one of my all-time favorites, Dave Parker. And I'm not sure if Dave has got a mustache. I don't really remember a mustache on Dave Parker. I don't think he does. But let's see. I know this card is worth at least something. Dave Parker is worth 8 cents from Beckett.
All right.
Plus the penny for the stirrups. So that is a 9-cent card. So that will bump you up to 26 cents.
Yes.
You could have made a phone call or two from a payphone back in 1987 with that. But Dave Parker,
that was enough to order your first shipment of Columbia House cassettes.
Oh, yeah.
Well, couldn't you do it 26 times? Wasn't it 1 penny for that first shipment?
Well, you had to buy the stamp too.
Oh, good call. Yeah.
But then they would send you a bill for like $300, and your parents would get mad.
And you'd get that automatic cassette that you never heard of the band because it ships automatically, and you didn't tell them not to send it.
Oh, I had several accounts with Columbia House, and would just send them to other people and collect them, and then let them deal with it. But I was kind of a deviant. I also was the one that stole all my baseball cards, so I was kind of a deviant as a youth. But Dave Parker, if you remember, got hit in the face with a pitch and came back with first a football-style face mask, and then eventually a hockey-style face mask for a little while, which was just badass. And he also, on the on-deck circle, instead of a weighted donut, would swing a sledgehammer.
That's
right.
Also, just equally badass.
So there's a really cool shirt company out of Pittsburgh called Steel City, and they have a shirt. They have a kind of a skeleton-looking guy that's kind of their brand guy, but they've done it with the hockey-style mask for Dave Parker.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, there is a bunch of Dave Parker shirts. What is it like? Something about banging. Because he used to really be styling and profiling in the clubhouse when he was at the Pirates. There are some great pictures of, let's see if we can find some great pictures of him just looking at. Yo, and I'm still, the guy behind him who I tracked down at one point, I am not sure that was a cigarette. Let's see, here's the picture of, let me pull it up here and I'll throw it in. Here's the picture. It's kind of cut off, but here's the picture of him smoking in the dugout. And I thought it was Bill Madlock behind him, but that is not Bill Madlock. Somebody else was wearing 23 at that point. But
those are some glorious uniforms.
They really are great. They've never really reproduced them in the throwback. I'm trying to find one more specific picture, but I'm not having luck because I'm trying to do it quickly. But there you go. Oh, here it is. Real quick. Now that my internet is super slow. All right, I'll just bring it up this way. You'll have to see it in the side. If you hear any noise, it's just me and the boys bopping.
Oh, man, I need that.
And look at the hat, though. I mean, this guy is a fashion plate right there.
That is amazing.
I think I know they sell those shirts still.
They do. Steel City sells them. They're really cool.
All right, so that is your pack. 26 cents. I was really hoping for more. That is so far our lowest total in the first round here. But I have no idea. I was expecting a higher total from this pack. we'll see what we get when we open Bubba and John's pack here now. All right.
It's going to be full of mustacheless rookies who never did nothing.
Bunch of manager cards. There's our next puzzle piece for Roberto Clemente. Well, if I were to tell you were getting a Sachs card right off the bat, you might think it was Steve Sachs, but no, it is Dave Sachs. Who, I don't know if he's any relation to Steve or not, but
it could be fucking ball sacks for all I know. Who the fuck is Dave Sachs?
Well, he was a catcher for the Boston Red Sox apparently during the 1987 season at some point.
Oh, right, okay.
But his Dave Ball Sachs is not worth anything. No mustache, no. Well, we know what this card is worth. You have pulled a Lloyd Mosby, which we also had in the first pack. So you know you're going to get on the board with 1 cent for that mustache.
We're on the board.
We did Mark and I went head to head during a show a while ago. Opened his pack first. It was a decent pack. And then we opened mine, and I got 2 commons right off the bat, and then the exact same pack he had right after, like card for card. So that was not fun. Well, here is a I'm worried for you, IFG. This is a rookie card.
Oh no.
It's a rookie card for somebody that is still being paid yearly millions of dollars.
Yes. Oh, Bobby Bonilla.
Yes. Here he is with the Pittsburgh Pirates, a baby-faced Bobby Bonilla.
Yes.
I'm anxious to see what this is worth, but this could spell doom right out of the bat, or right out of the gate.
You gotta love the hat, and he's got the wispy mustache.
Wow. IFG, I apologize.
It's it.
Yes.
$3 for Bobby.
What?
Ballcaps and Bagpipes with a walk-off win in round 1.
Yeah, that knocked the starting pitcher out right from the get-go. That is, and right away is our highest total of the first round at 301.
Oh, that ain't even.
Wow.
I've always said if I didn't have bad luck, I'd have none at all.
Fucking Bobby Bonilla.
That's for calling me a haggis eating ninny. I'm a vegetarian, damn it.
Is there veggie haggis? Do they make a vegetarian haggis?
There is, but it's vile.
It's not bad. My wife's vegetarian as well, and she has it all the time.
I was joking, but wow.
Haggis is awful anyway. I don't know what would possess anyone to eat that crap.
I bought a canned haggis, but I haven't opened it yet. No joke.
How long ago?
It was a while. It's gonna last, I hear.
He's saving it up for when all the meat is gone from the virus.
That's right. When all the meat is gone, I've got a hidden haggis.
I don't want to tell you where we hide our haggis.
That's our phrase that pays for this round. I've got a hidden haggis.
Incidentally, that is a common pickup line in Scotland.
Is it? I'm gonna try it over here.
Oh, all right. Well, let's get through the rest of this pack. Next, we've got Al. Don't call me Alfred E. Newman here with the Expos. I remember him.
Al Newman.
I remember him with the Twins more than anything.
He was quite a player. If I remember right, he could hit.
Yeah, I think he was on those Twins, the '88 World Series Twins team. Or
I think so.
Sorry. Oh, this would have been. Must have gotten traded then, because this is 87 pack. That card is not worth anything, though.
That doesn't matter. We won anyway.
Yeah.
It's all flash now.
Yeah, well, which is a good thing because now you've got a checklist card, which is the dreaded checklist.
Checklist.
We hate the checklist.
That's like $1.50, right?
let's just see, just to make sure. I will. Well, look at that. It's a hero card too. It's card number 100, but I don't think that that's going to matter. Yeah, that's. Now, if I were to tell you there were an action shot of Mariano Duncan, you might think it might be him fielding a ball, maybe taking a big hack. But here he is bunting. And it looks like he's popping it up too, because that does not look like he's not gonna get that one down.
That's not even proper technique.
Yeah, launch angle. He's one of these internet hitting gurus that is all over baseball Twitter right now, showing you how to get the launch angle with a pitch like that. Let's see. That card is not worth anything, but he does have a mustache. And a nice Jerry curl, but that's, again, the Soul Glow is not worth anything.
Hey, wait, back up. The checklist, we need to look into all the players on the checklist.
No, we're not. Well, I see here's two Hall of Famers right here, Dale Murphy and Ryan Sandberg.
Well, there's 2 cents right there.
No, and there's Tony Gwynn, Ozzie Smith, George Brett. Oh, it's a good checklist. And we're not even going to get into the back, but yeah, we're gonna leave it at that.
I like your thinking, John.
Next, we've got another. Well, I mentioned him earlier. A great outfielder, a great arm for the Toronto Blue Jays, Jesse Barfield.
One of my favorites.
Yep, good mustache. Good follow on Twitter. That card is surprisingly not worth anything other than the mustache, though. But that'll get you 1 cent.
We need every cent we can get at this point, so we'll take what we can get.
These points, nothing carries over, by the way. So, now this is a guy I vaguely remember, and he has got one of the greatest last names, Jim Pankovitz.
Oh yeah,
remember him. All right.
It's a great surname. It's not exactly Rusty Kuntzman, but it will do.
Poor Rusty. He owns that name, though. He is not embarrassed.
Who was the other? Was it Dick Pole?
Dick Pole. Yep, a pitcher.
There's always Randy ready.
Randy's ready for Dick Pole.
Max ready.
I'm sure.
Unfortunately, Jim is not worth anything, though, and we can't see his stirrups.
Oh, well, fuck you, Jim. Go away.
Yeah, he did go away. Now, I remember this guy from the Oakland A's, and he's got one of those blonde mustaches that's kind of hard to see, Dave Leeper. I also see some real stirrups in the background there. Yes. I'm going to guess those will be probably the only value for Dave. It is.
Leeper had his day in Tacoma,
Did you hang with Mr. Leeper at any point?
No, I just watched him from the stands. I was like 12, I think.
Next, we've got a pitcher for the Yankees that I don't remember, but he's one of those guys. He's got real stirrups, and he's pulled them up so high that they're just a thin line going up his sanitaries. It almost is as thin as the pinstripes on his pants. Brian Fisher.
I don't remember him at all.
The name that I'm vaguely familiar with.
I am not, but that's a 1 cent card right there.
I'm a Yankees fan, so I need to be.
Here is a guy that kind of looks like Darren Dalton before Darren Dalton. It is catcher for the Phillies, John Russell.
I have a Darren Dalton card, believe it or not.
No, Dutch. I love Dutch. Dutch was one of those. Always had a huge piece of chaw in his mouth. Was always dirty uniform.
Nice.
Yeah, Darren Dalton was old school. I like Darren.
He led the league in RBIs in like 91 or 92.
Yeah, he had that one monster year. I think Darren might have been one of the early steroid adopters, though.
Possibly.
But unfortunately, John Russell is not worth anything. The next card, this is a great card. He always has good cards. If I were to tell you his nickname or his wrestling moniker was T-Rex, would anybody know who it is?
Heck yeah. You talking about Rex Hudler?
No.
Rex Hudler. I can't see.
No, he's a wrestling moniker. That was kind of my big clue that he wrestled. Rex Hedler was known as Rex the Sex. But this guy
I really hope you made that up.
This guy might be better known as Herbie in the baseball circuit. It is Kent Herbeck.
Oh, H.R. Beck.
Who, if you are a Braves fan, you still contest that he lifted the leg of Ron Gant off the bag.
Yeah, that's right. Still up for debate. You know, you got to love a guy, a power hitter whose first two letters of his last name is H.R. I mean, what are the odds?
That's brilliant.
That is good naming. Good lineage. So that card is worth 5 cents plus 1 cent for the stirrups. So now
they were so far behind.
They're stealing bases, even though they're not being held on late in the game. This could get.
They walked up the game and kept playing.
I think you should probably bean them here, IFG. Just send a message that you're not going to take this.
Throw down an Aubrey Huff card somehow.
Oh, well, this is the opposite of Aubrey Huff right here. This is my all-time favorite pitcher. I fucking love him. Smoke, Dave Stewart.
Oh,
nice. Oh yeah.
Look at that. Yeah, I would love it if he had a card where he had his glove up in front of his face so you could just see his eyes and he was just staring down.
He's already staring down. That is a gorgeous card. Oh my goodness.
He was like a black belt in judo, wasn't he?
Is he? I don't know. I tell you this, I would not want to fuck with him at any point because he would just kick your ass, I think.
He just looks like it.
Yeah, in like 82, someone charged him out against him and he ended up kicking him.
I'll have to look that up. Chan-Ho Park is the only kicker that I am aware of. But and of course, Dave Stewart does have a dark side where he was busted soliciting a transvestite person of the night, we shall say at one point.
Oh, but, did he get Eddie Murphy?
He just got busted, but I think Dave also had a drug problem, but he came back from that and is just my favorite guy. And he's kind of like Kirk Gibson to me. Like, you don't want to, like, he is the toughest guy, but then you hear him talk and he's kind of like Mike Tyson and his voice just doesn't go with his, with how tough he looks. But I fucking love Dave Stewart.
Sounds like a great dude.
So I was going to say, in 86 is when he got in a fight with Pat Corrales of the Cleveland Indians.
Oh, really? I used to park next to Pat Corrales' car every day when I worked for the Braves. He was a station wagon. It was an Audi station wagon. I used to look in there every day because he just had the weirdest, he was just like the Family Guy. And it was just so weird to me to look into, Pat Corrales, the bench coach for Bobby Cox all those great years. Is just got like groceries and laundry detergent in the back of his car all the time. But Dave Stewart went on to be an agent. He represented several baseball players, and then he was the GM of the Blue Jays and I believe the Diamondbacks for a while, but was never really a great GM. Now he does a pregame show for the A's on TV here locally. So this will make our Mariners fans happy. Oh, I forgot to say that is a 5 cent, it's a 4 cent card. No, I'm sorry, it's a 5 cent card. Plus, he's got the mustache, so that makes it a 6 cent card. That'll bring you up to $3.18. This will make our Mariner fans happy. It is Mr. Mariner.
Mariner fans.
Yes. Davis, nice.
The great AD.
Pardon?
Look at the crappy hat he has on, though.
Yeah, spring training. He's got the trucker mesh hat on. I'm going to guess that might be worth a couple of cents elsewhere. Believe it or not, no, just 1 cent for AD. They're letting up now.
So are you guys watching the Dorktown series on the Mariners?
I haven't seen it yet. I keep meaning to watch it, and I have not started it yet. I hear it's great.
It's amazing. Like I love it. Like every time it comes out, like I got about 5 or 6 people saying it's out. You gotta watch it now.
Yeah, maybe I'll binge that today because that is definitely one I've been meaning to look at. Now here's your final card. We pulled this guy yesterday in an 88 Topps pack, and who was it? Yes, we did pull this guy, and he happened to be with a guest that we have on an upcoming podcast who knew this guy, and I think got free tickets at a bar from him when he was underage. But here he is, Mr. Jeff Robinson, at this point, pitcher for the Giants. It was in Texas, so it all makes sense. We'll tell. You'll hear the story in the upcoming episode. But I think that is probably not worth anything. It is not. But that is IFG. I apologize because they knocked it out with the Bobby Bonilla rookie card, and this one was just never close. I'm afraid.
Not.
But we all had a good time, right?
You know
Absolutely.
what?
Last.
IFG, you may not have won. In fact, you may have had the biggest deficit in the history of the game, but you made some friends. How about that? I consider myself your friend. I hope you consider me. Yeah, the other way around.
That's not
I don't know half of you half as well as I should like, and I like less than half of you half as you deserve.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, on her 111th birthday.
All right, so let's take a look now at the brackets just to see how this all plays out. So this was our final first round matchup, and the winner is Caps and Pipe. So they will go on to face the BBVA podcast in the second round, who had our second highest score of all of our matchups. But that was fun. That Bobby Bonilla card was by far the most expensive card we have pulled in the history of Wax Packs Heroes, not just in this tournament, but
records
over
were
a year.
set. Records
I
were
just
set.
want to point out that it's the second time today that I've called a dinger for the wrong team.
What were you watching the Rakuten China Trust Brothers earlier today? I think. Yes,
Monkeys Brothers, go Monkeys!
I'm a Brothers guy, so it ended up happy for me. But so this is before we wrap up, I want to give everybody a chance to let everybody know where they can find more of you. So IFG, where can people find you?
I am all over the Twitter. I'm at Infield Fly Girl, no I in the girl.
And yep, you can see how to do it. I'll put it in the show notes as well. But a really entertaining Twitter account, and I'm so glad that you were able to come on. It was a blast getting to talk to you. And
it was a blast.
Caps and good. Well, hopefully we can have you on again. And Caps and Pipes, John and Bubba, do you want to tell us where people can find you? And Bubba, you also have a really cool store that you need to make sure to tell people about.
Oh, which store is this one?
No, store.
Store, yes. So you can find me on social media. I'm Bubba on Baseball. I do a daily kind of history blog, and then I got my own store. It's called Dugout Classics, and I'm based in the UK, but I ship worldwide. I just try to find cool jerseys that normally can find anywhere else.
Excellent. And John?
You can find our podcast, Ballcaps and Bagpipes, on all social media platforms, at Caps and Pipes on Twitter, and just Ballcaps and Bagpipes on Facebook. I'm on Twitter at John Caps Pipes as well. Most of my Twitter ramblings are quite nonsensical and have nothing to do with sports at the moment. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Awesome. Well, thank you all for being here. Of course, you can find us at Two Strike Noise. That is at TWO Strike Noise. We are on Twitter and Instagram. If you're watching this, you obviously know where we are on YouTube. And you can find our podcast, our baseball history podcast, every week, wherever you get your podcast casts. I don't know what the plural of that is. But thank you everybody for watching. And we are getting ready to head into the second round. And we'll make sure to let everybody know when those happen. And beyond that, thank you very much for listening and watching. And we will see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Thanks for having me.
Gonna pull a wax back hero. Stars in his eyes. Wax back hero. On the podcast tonight.